All right, looks like we're live, guys. The Denver Broncos are 12-2, coming off a huge win against the playoff contending Green Bay Packers. The Broncos currently hold the number one seed in the AFC with the best record in the NFL. And there used to be a time where you would watch your favorite team play a football game and your quarterback throw for 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, absolutely sling it, and come away thinking, Mike, you got yourself a good football team here. You've got a chance. Well, those days seem to be disappearing, if not already gone, because we have things called advanced analytics now, and we have instant Twitter reactions from NFL media types telling us that we shouldn't believe what our eyes see. It's a crazy time. And now the latest narrative, if you want to call it a narrative, is that the Broncos are winning in a way that's not good enough for them. And their favorite one that they're calling it now that they've moved those goalposts is that it's unsustainable. Well, by definition, 11 straight seems to be pretty sustainable to me, but now we're unsustainable. And the great thing about that take is that eventually you'll be proven right because only one team wins it all, right? So the these guys can get away with saying things like the Broncos are frauds or that this isn't sustainable because when they lose in the Super Bowl, you are proven right. You can say, see, I told you so. But the real question kind of is, at least it is for me, is why do we get this in the first place? And there's a few reasons, but I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is in a second. One of the reasons, of course, is ego. The national media, even the local media, they all have egos. They all want to be smarter than you, and they want to prove that they're smarter than you. Even though you've been watching football your whole life, you've studied it, you've researched it, they're still smarter than you somehow. Basically, because they went to broadcasting school or something. Uh, the other one, besides ego, is their credibility, I guess. They hate to be wrong. As much as they love to be right and tell you all about it, they hate being wrong and they hate admitting they were wrong even more than they hate being wrong. It's pretty comical, honestly. Sean Payton this offseason, if you remember, kind of called his shot. He said, I've been coaching all these years, and out of all those years, there's been maybe 6 teams that I could say are Super Bowl caliber teams. And he said that this squad was one of them. And that he also said that he thought Bo was a top 5 quarterback. And boy, was he ridiculed in the media. If you remember that, he was made fun of, he was mocked. And I mean, the joke's on them, right? The Broncos are 12-2. They've beaten several quality teams, and they sit on top of the league. They have the best record in the NFL. So why are we still dealing with, this goalpost being moved, this narrative that the Broncos aren't real or that it's not sustainable? Why do we really have to deal with that? Well, I'm going to show you. And I'm going to let you in on another secret right off the bat, so I'm not withholding anything from you. One other secret is that they don't really watch the games. And that's obvious by their takes. If you've watched their takes, you'll know that. They stat watch, or they have an intern stat watch for them. So let me bring this up and show you a few things. So the title of this one, of course, Unstainable. Trademark Mike Carmelini. Thank you very much. I did search Google before I put that out there. I didn't see it anywhere or on Twitter. But really, this is about once you plant that flag on the hill and you make your stand, as an NFL national media member, you cling to it like a ladder in a swimming pool when you're drowning. Like, they just won't let go of this stuff no matter what they see. They will tell us that Bo is terrible. or this team is terrible, or Sean Payton is a terrible coach based on some stat, and you can always find a stat to back up whatever you want it to. So in this past game against Green Bay, Bo Nix threw for 300 and whatever it was, 2 yards, 4 touchdown passes, completed probably close to 70% of his passes. I mean, the guy was on fire. And you know that. You're a football fan. You've watched football. There's certainly a stat out there that says his EPA per play over expected on third down was 2.6% or some crap like that. So that in itself is a problem. But here's the real problem, and bear with me. You may not be able to read this. There are 69 or 68 people on this list. Now, you're going to recognize some of these names. Now, these are people who, before the season even started, this is after the preseason games, they called their shots. And I'll read a few names to you. Okay. You've got Teddy Bruschi, Joe Buck, Rich Cimini, Kevin Clark, Ryan Clark, Jeff Darlington, Herm Edwards, Jeremy Fowler. All these guys made their picks. And you've got your AFC champion, your NFC champion, and your Super Bowl winner. Now, you won't see the Broncos anywhere on this list. What you will see is a lot of Ravens, Bills, and Chiefs, Packers. You know, they all see what one person does. They all follow suit. Dan Graziano, Mike Greenberg, Tim Hasselback, Mina Kimes, Mel Kiper. It's Ravens, Packers, Ravens, Lamar Jackson. Don't tell me that you're not just copying these and pasting these in your spots. I mean, Booger McFarland, like who cares what Booger McFarland thinks? But anyways, the point is Sal Palantonio. I'm almost done, so bear with me. I do want to point out Rex Ryan, Jeff Saturday, Adam Schefter, Peter Schrager. So you've got all the names here. You will not see the Broncos listed or a Broncos player listed anywhere on this list. So this is preseason, preconceived notions, which become your narrative. Now, I've got it all bundled down here into, and you probably can't read that, and I apologize for that. So basically, out of the 68 people, the league MVP this year is going to be Lamar Jackson with 22 votes, or Joe Burrow with 20. That takes care of 42 out of them. The remainder of these guys is Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Jaden Daniels. You don't see Bo Nix anywhere on that list. Now, the NFC champion will be the Eagles with 26 votes, who the Broncos beat. The Packers with 22 votes, who the Broncos beat. You got the Bucks, 49ers, Commanders, who we beat. Vikings, Rams. Rams got 1 vote, and they are in the first seed in the NFC. Surprise, surprise. AFC champion, Ravens, 33. The vast majority of the Ravens. Bills got 25, Chiefs got 9. Broncos actually got 1 vote here. So I didn't recognize the name, or I would have highlighted it. I think his last name was like York or Yerk, but my screenshot cut off. So I apologize to you, whoever you are. Good on you. So Super Bowl champion, Ravens, 30. Yeah, that print looks really small, man. I'm sorry about the print. If it looks as small as it does on my screen, I apologize. Bills got 19, Chiefs got 8, Eagles got 5, Lions 3, Broncos. There's 1 Bronco. So one person out of all those picked the Broncos to win the Super Bowl. He actually stands a pretty good chance of that right now. So then, of course, you've got your Nick Wrights. You got your schedule predictions, right? So this is all before the season starts. 7 and 10, of course, famously, Nick Wright had the Broncos in last place in the AFC West, the Chiefs winning, the Raiders in San Diego or wherever the hell San Diego, Los Angeles, wherever the Chargers play now, either in second or third or vice versa. But the Broncos were just, gone. Of course, Fox Sports at 9 and 8, Bleachers got them at 9 and 8. Even Jeff Legwold from ESPN, who used to be with the Denver Post, has got 6-11, but he does say it's the worst case scenario. Same with Kliss, who says 9-8, which actually is worst case. I don't really have a problem with that. I don't know who this other guy is, but 9.5 wins is pretty common out there at this time. So again, this is all before the season started. You've got your typical, this would be like a Yahoo or ESPN or NFL. Well, they'll do a poll with everybody, and they'll come out with, this is how they see the season going. And so of course you've got your Chiefs at 14-3, winning it all. I like where they've got the Rams here at 13-4. Good on them. That's a miss. That might happen. Some of these, now this one, the Bengals, maybe you cut them some slack, with Joe Burrow being out. Point is, here's the Broncos, our lowly yellow Broncos, sitting here at 9-8. Just an average team. It would probably say 8-8 if there were only 16 games. Again, here's another one showing, here's your AFC West with the so the number 2 seed would be the Chiefs. Chargers would get in as the 5 seed, and the Broncos would miss out on the playoffs at 98. Now, what's up, guys? I see you guys in the chat. I'll get with you here in a minute. T Fishes, good to see you. Jesse, what's up, buddy? Check out the quarterback rankings for Week 15. Matt Stafford, Drake May, Jordan Love. Lost, almost lost to a 44-year-old. I don't see Bo Nix anywhere in there. Broncos down here at 11, underneath the Phillip Rivers-led Indianapolis Colts, guys. This is because they called their shot before the preseason. And here's a perfect example early in the season where Bo Nix is second year Bo Nix QB holding back the Broncos. So this is exactly what I'm talking about, and I'm gonna show you the good news here in a second. I want to check in with the chat here, guys. T Fish's Bo's definitely taken a huge step forward. Absolutely, man. And even he's done that his whole career. He did it in high school, which you hope to see anyway, but he did it like crazy in college. And then he did it in his first year in the NFL, and now he's doing it again in his second year and during his second season in the NFL. He's just always getting better. And so we can forget about the sophomore slump. That's over with. Okay, so that was an early narrative, how, Bo was going to regress, and Sean Payton was going to be looking for a job and all that crap. Yeah, he has taken a huge step forward, and the media likes to play it safe. It's safe to go with Ravens, Bills, and KC. It is, and I don't have a problem with calling your shot. Like, that's never been my problem. It's very hard to do. It's even hard to pick games. I do another show where I pick games, and I don't watch every team play. I haven't watched a lot of Bears games or a lot of Dolphins games. So it's hard. You have to do like some stat look, and then you kind of look at their schedule and you see who they beat and who they didn't beat. So I forgive all that. What I don't forgive is not admitting you're wrong, and then pounding these narratives, these false narratives about a football team who has won 11 straight games, guys. It's just crazy. It's embarrassing. The Broncos are, I said it with Zach, with Let's Talk Broncos, and David on David Talks Broncos on our post-game show this week. I finally said the Broncos are the best team in the NFL. I'll stand by that. I had said they were the best in the AFC, but now I believe they are the best team in the NFL, and it proves itself out. So where are we at? Before we get into that, let me get through back to the comments here a little bit. What's up, Jesse? A bunch of young kids coming together. There's some truth to that. I don't know like where the Broncos rank. I forget. I know I looked it up earlier, um, maybe in the offseason, where they were as far as oldest teams versus youngest teams. And there were some players like Garrett Bowles and Cortland Sutton, and then a few free agency guys that kind of throw that number up a little higher than it was. But the nucleus of this team is becoming young. And our offensive weapons, aside from the aforementioned Cortland Sutton, is pretty darn young. And we can't complain about uh, young players too much and then complain about how we never develop our players, right? So I love to see that. I love that comment. What's up, D-Rock? Always good to see you, man. You are like the sun coming up. And everybody say hi to D-Rock in the chat. Chat's on fire tonight. Not used to that on a solo show, so I appreciate that. Who do we got here? We got Shy Vargas. How about them Broncos? No doubt, man. Like, what a world we're living in right now. And I'm about to get to into like the good stuff. Okay. Like, I've kind of explained why nobody wants to admit the Broncos are good. But guys, they're good. You've watched them play. You watched them go and take care of the Philadelphia Eagles. You watched them beat the Texans. You watched them beat Green Bay. It just, I have to go back and see like every team they've beat that's in the playoffs or in the hunt. It's pretty impressive what they've done. Okay, my main guy here, we got Brett Hilbers in the house. If the Broncos make a super deep run this year, I can see a lot of media types saying the year was a fluke. What do the Broncos have to do to prove themselves at this point? So first of all, Brett, what's going on, my brother? I will tell you that I don't even know if a Super Bowl will do it. And the reason I say that is because once those guys hang their flag, they don't want to admit they were wrong. Wouldn't it be refreshing if I came on the show at the beginning of the year and I said, man, I think the Broncos are going to go, 6-11 this year. I'm just not feeling it. To come back on and say, man, I'll tell you what, at the beginning of the season, I said 6-11 with this team. I blew it. This team looks great. They've got this going on. They've got that going on. I could respect somebody doing that. Like, you don't have, it's so hard to be right. Because every season's different. You only bring back about 30% of your team. You turn it over. There's cap situation. There's, all the different schedules can fool people. The Jaguars. The last. I heard today someone talking about the last 6 quarterbacks that the Jaguars have played, and I didn't really even recognize most of the names. So there's all that stuff that come into play. So. What do they have to do to prove it? Hard to say. It may not be possible because of their egotistical pride. We got Martin. I don't fault them for the preseason predictions, even midway through the season, but now it's clear that Bo's playing better. In fact, really good ball. It's time to admit they were wrong. Yeah, I mean, that's what we're talking about, Martin. And thanks for coming in. I agree 100%. Like, credibility, if you're worried about losing your credibility, admit you were wrong. And just say it. There's always surprise teams every year. I don't understand why it's so hard for them to just say, man, I was wrong about Bo Nix. I was wrong about my prediction. I mean, it's just crazy. D-Rock. Folks, Bo is 22-9 for his career. Like, come the F on. Finally, we have a true franchise quarterback. Amen to that. Let me switch gears here a little bit. So here's our Broncos are frauds, and it's unsustainable. They are 12-2. They have locked up a playoff spot in the AFC, which no other team has done. And so that's pretty sustainable, I think. 11 straight. Let's be serious. The Pats lost to the Bills, who are now kind of right here on their heels. So we're going to look and see who plays who coming up. Of course, the Texans now are threatening the Jags. So when the Broncos beat the Jaguars this week, the Texans could be sliding up into that spot. And then in the hunt, the Colts and the Ravens, out of those two, Obviously, with Phillip Rivers starting a quarterback, gonna have to worry about that. But this this is sustainable, right? And I could go through every game if you guys wanted me to, but I won't. And I'll tell you why, because it's my wife's birthday. Brett, I hope you reached out to Teresa today, told her happy birthday. I'm sure you did. And so, more good news. This is pass protection. The Broncos are living like on an island all by themselves. So, I don't particularly like stats, at least advanced stats. I like touchdowns. I like yards from running backs. I think fumbles are important. Sacks are important. EPA per play on first downs. Miss me on that, right? I know what I'm watching. I know what a good quarterback looks like. I know what a good team looks like. I don't need to look at this to see that the Browns are bad. Okay. So power rankings, week 16. Well, look who showed up. It is Pro Football Talk. And maybe there's hope in this world. The Broncos and the Rams are at 1 and 2 in the power rankings. Hallelujah. There's hope in this world that maybe the media will come around. And T-Fish, I want to get to this comment. There should be stats on media personalities in their takes. Like when they talk, you post their QBR rating so everyone can see how bogus they really are. Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I'm doing because I definitely will name names. I think I did that in my Bo Nix video that for some reason went crazy viral. And it was like a 7-minute video. So thank you to all of you that watched that. And all of my new subscribers, thank you so much for watching the show. Love doing it. And if you're new to the channel, huge Broncos fan. I just love talking ball with you guys. Please hit the subscribe button. Come back in, get in the chat. We'd love to see you here again. The chat would love to see you in here too. But again, great to see the Broncos sitting atop that. Here's USA's Today's even has them at 3. Normally a fairly harsh, critical, let's say, organization or media group. Good to see that they're starting to recognize. D-Rock, thank you so much to Mrs. Carmelini, who will love to see that. I'll show it to her because she's not watching that. It's her birthday. Do you think we could sweep Kansas City Chiefs? Well, I certainly do now, Shai. It's Patrick Mahomes is out for the season. I don't know if you know that, but yeah, terrible ACL. He's out. That game in Kansas City, we'll see how much it matters when we play it. Still a dangerous team. Gardner Minshew will probably get that start. So I think they definitely have a chance now. I wouldn't have picked them in December at Arrowhead Stadium, no matter how good. If we were 14-0, I probably still wouldn't pick the Broncos to win that game. It's just such a tough place to play, and they're very hard to beat at home. My guy David, my fellow Mile High Monster, let's go getting my oil change. I think he says that all the time. Like he either gets his oil changed a lot or it's just his favorite excuse and he thinks I'm going to forget. And that's not why, that's, I don't expect David to watch the show. He does like 10 shows a day. If you don't know who David Talks Broncos is, trust me, you want to know. At David Talks Broncos on YouTube, find him. You will absolutely love his content. He works harder than all of us put together. US Today don't know S. Yeah, well, it's still nice to see that they've at least recognized, well, still got the Seahawks moved up after beating Houston there, Buffalo Bills. I mean, I don't have a huge problem with that list, to be honest with you. So, D-Rock, Dave, saying hi to Dave. Guys, I'm telling you, man, check in with Dave. We do a show or two every week together. The post-game shows are fire. We get thousands and thousands and thousands of people watching the post-game shows. Big Cat, it's got the Broncos listed as a juggernaut, and he's got the Bills and the Texans as Super Bowl contenders. Yeah. I mean, maybe the narrative's changing a little bit. We'll see. Power rankings. This is Not sure who this is. I'm going to Schwab this, but he's got Broncos at 3. That's fine. Patriots hanging on there. Bears, Houston, Eagles, Buffalo, Green Bay. Yeah, that's a fine list. I mean, you're getting really picky. You start worrying about stuff like that. This one, I didn't get this one deep enough. I think that first one, the last one was Yahoo Sports. But here's another one that's pretty constant. Don't see any real surprises here. Yeah, maybe the Raiders below the Titans, right? So despite all this, Bo Nix, most games with 4 touchdown passes in the first 2 seasons, NFL history. Patrick Mahomes, Dan Marino, Bo Nix. That's it. That's the list. If you're going to use stats, let's use them. Let's use the ones that don't fit your narrative. Bo Nix during the 11-game win streak is the 4th highest graded quarterback in football from Pro Football Focus. Guys, this is the reality of the situation. Is the Broncos are a complete team. Now, every team has injuries. I heard some talk about how Green Bay, and God bless Micah Parsons, that was awful. That Bronco, that game was I think it was only like a 1 or 2 point difference in that game when that injury happened. Did it contribute? It could have, but we'll never know. But what I can tell you is that 2 of the touchdown passes that Bo Nix threw in that game were to practice squad wide receivers. The touchdown was made, or a rushing touchdown that was made, was by RJ Harvey, because our starting running back, J.K. Dobbins, who was lighting the league up, is out for perhaps the season. So we all have those injuries. We lost our starting safety in that game. We were playing a backup guard in that game. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And that's just the type and time of the season we're in. So credit where credit is due. Bo Nix is playing out of his mind. Mike comes in and says, Broncos going to win out if they have to play all the rest of their games to get 1 seed. Right. So what he's saying is, if they don't win out, it's because they're resting their starters. And it's possible. And we're going to get to that here in just a second here. D-Rock, all credit Sean Payton for calling it back in the preseason. Yeah, that was gutsy. I thought it was all smoke. Couldn't believe it at the moment. Yeah, I mean, even the local media was like, dude, shut up. And I don't remember my reaction, if I'm being honest with you guys, and I'll always be honest with you. I don't remember what my exact reaction was, but I think it was kind of like, yeah, man, don't say stuff like that. That's just bulletin board material. But he backed it up, and you got to hand it to him. So here we go. AFC. Denver clinches the AFC West title with a Denver win and a Charger loss. That'll do it. That'll give us the AFC West. Or we could tie, which is not going to happen. Sean Payton doesn't play for ties, and a Chargers loss. So the AFC West is pretty much in hand. If you can win and lose, I think we're going to get that. Now, clinching a first-round bye is a little more difficult, home field advantage, but super important if we do, because guess what? Broncos haven't lost at home in, I don't know what it is now. Is it 12 straight games? Denver clinched first-round bye, home field advantage with a Denver win. Chargers lose. New England loses, and Buffalo loses. So a little bit of work left on that. So we won't count our chickens on that. But speaking of that, so let's go back to this real quick. Chargers lost. Denver win, Chargers lost. So Denver plays the Jaguars in Denver. Now, the road teams generally win these games between these two clubs, which is interesting. But the Jags, here's one where I will say, haven't really played like a starting quarterback in about 6 weeks. So I think they're going to be in for a little bit different of a game, although not taking anything away from them. They're 10-4. They've won 6 out of 7. They're playing really good ball, and they're averaging like 33 points a game or something like that. So that game's no joke. Let's hope the Broncos aren't riding too high on that victory against Green Bay. I hope that they're back to business this week, and they know what's up in front of them and what they have to do to win. The other team we're talking about. So Chargers loss. Chargers are at Dallas. Now, Dallas is weird, right? Like, are they falling off or are they just doing their usual? What are they, like 6-8 now? Oh no, they have a tie with Green Bay, so they wouldn't be that. But I'm not sure what exactly they are. But I mean, they can turn it up. So that's a losable game. The Chargers then have the Texans and the Broncos. So we're going to have the Chargers win out. And honestly, don't see that happening. New England needs a loss. Well, New England's got the Ravens, the Jets, and Miami. Looks like they could kind of cruise to 14-3. Now, if they can get past the Ravens, because they're playing at the Ravens, if they can get past that game, they'll probably beat the Jets and the Dolphins and go 14-3. The good news is the Broncos hold all tiebreakers against these schmoes, so would only have to win 2 more games to get to 14-3, and they would have to win out to get to 14-3, and we would win the first overall seed. A Buffalo loss or tie, they're playing at Cleveland. Let's be honest, I don't expect that. But yeah, here's everybody that really matters right now. The remaining schedules: the Texans have the Raiders, which is a freebie. The Chargers, I guess, go Texans in that game, right? And then the Colts could be a freebie depending on if they're playing, who they're even playing at quarterback. Jags have got a pretty easy schedule that they get past the Broncos, but the best they can do is 13-4. So that's the best they can do. So Broncos would have to lose out, I think, for them to take the number 1 seed. So there you go. This all means about as much as it means when the media continues to disrespect and bag on the Broncos. What does it mean? Well, it means nothing. Like, we really shouldn't care, but we kind of do. It's like, it doesn't affect us. But it's like when they talk about your kids, right? Nobody talks about your kids. You don't let anybody talk about your brother. You can, but you don't let anybody. You want recognition, partially because the Broncos have been down for so many years. Like, we all share it together. We all want to share it together. We want that recognition. Like, hey, why can't you take us seriously? So that would be helpful, at least for our emotional support, right? D-Rock comes in. Ben Powers should be back. Pat Bryant should be back soon as well. Folks, we're going straight. Finish him mode. Flawless victory. Pat Bryant would be huge. I thought, is it Pauk that's playing for Powers right now? Has been doing a pretty good job, obviously. Just goes to show, what a job Sean and George Payton have done with the depth on this team. And even with Brandon Jones going down, we've got PJ Locke, who looked good in the game. So far, knock on wood, no, tragic, terrible injuries. Broncos signed new running backs today. I saw that. Is it another 5'8", 200-pound running back? I did a show on that the other day where apparently Sean Payton is averse to having a running back that's bigger than 5'8". And they let Sincere McCormick go as well. But I haven't done my research on that. Like I said, it's Teresa's birthday, so I'm in and out of the studio as quick as I can get. 33 minutes, that's my quick. It should be 14, 15 home victories. It might be now. I'm not sure. Mike's 11 straight games. Is this at home? Because we know it's 11 straight games on the season. Sorry, we haven't lost in 14 months. At home. Yeah, that's crazy. Mike, Chargers all beat up. We'll beat up more after they play us. And the Chargers played a physical game against the Chiefs. Man, like every time I looked up, there was a Chief player hurt on the ground. It was a rough weekend for injuries in the NFL. It's late in the season. It's getting cold. Players are getting tired. They're getting beat up. So this is all coming into play now. But not seeing, the Broncos fall, to that so far has been refreshing, and where it has happened, the depth, again, has really just helped us. Mike comes back in, media's bad enough, then you have the refs and the commissioner we have to beat. Now, so that's the thing, right? The NFL does not like Sean Payton. Now, whether they like the Broncos or not, uh, I think I could argue that. I don't think they have necessarily a problem with the Denver Broncos. We don't make a lot of noise in the offseason. But Sean Payton, now that he's the face of the Broncos, yeah, there's some truth to that. The NFL has shown, the NFL refs have shown, they do not like Sean Payton. Part of that is because he's a cocky SOB, as he showed this preseason when he said we were going to be Super Bowl a team and Bo Nix was top 5. He's cocky. And then he spent a year, with the media on air and talking just like he does now. And it just goes to show you that he's just authentic. I mean, he just says stuff, and sometimes maybe he shouldn't, but it's also kind of fun, right? As a Broncos fan, to have your coach out there talk smack and have it, come true, be something. I kind of like it. I like it because he backs it up. We've got D-Rock. Folks, take a moment and realize that we have no true number 2 on the field, and Bo is ripping it. Imagine a true tight end and a number 2 wide receiver, also a real run game. Yeah, we're getting it done. I like what I saw from RJ. The numbers don't really back it up, as my friend and colleague Colin Cronin would tell me all the time. He'll throw the stats at me, and I'll be like, yeah, but the O-line, when you're getting tackled 2 yards deep and behind the line, and you still end up with almost 4 yards of carry, you're doing something right. So kind of pleasantly surprised about RG. Hopeful. Definitely miss J.K. Dobbins, though. He was getting it done. He was on pace for like 1,350 yards when he went out. I just realized that I didn't stream this to Twitter, so that's a bummer, which I normally do. So we'll see what happens with that. Whatever. Maybe I'll just repost it on there. But I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go do the birthday with the wife. If you guys have any comments about what I said, please leave them in the comment section. I will get back to you. I always check my comments. Thanks to everybody in the chat. That was awesome. I think we know why the Broncos are not getting the recognition. It's just because they don't want to admit they were wrong, guys. But we know we're right, and history's on our side at 12-2. This is a Super Bowl caliber team, and should be considered Super Bowl favorites, in my opinion. So anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Hitting the like button helps me out a ton. I will see you later in the week. Until next time, though, go Broncos, and we'll talk to you real soon. Thanks a lot.